Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today as we watch this Pokemon Legends Arceus gameplay preview together. It is January 13th, 2022, and the Pokemon Company just dropped this video on YouTube and on Twitter. It's already trending. I think the game looks great. We got a little preview of it the other day. It obviously comes out in just a couple of more weeks. I think a 13.5-minute presentation like this now bodes well for the title having a lot of content in it. Let's check it out and see what they have to share.
Welcome, trainers. Thanks for joining us today for a preview of the upcoming game, Pokemon Legends Arceus, releasing January 28th exclusively on the Nintendo Switch system. Today, we wanted to give you a first look at some new gameplay. Let's begin. Your adventure is set in the expansive Hisui region, in an age long ago when it was rare for people and Pokemon to live in close harmony. In time, Hisui will come to be called the Sinnoh region. Mount Coronet rises from the center of the Hisui region, surrounded on all sides by areas with distinct environments. Each area is rich in natural features and plays host to different Pokemon ecosystems. One such area is the Obsidian Fieldlands, which you can see the trainer exploring here. The area is filled with Pokemon that call meadows and forests their home. Each area in Hisui has loads to discover, and you should make sure to collect a variety of different raw materials as you explore. These materials can be used to craft many items that will help you on your journey, including healing items, lures, smoke bombs, a mysterious invention called a Pokeball, and more. Your Pokemon team can help you collect these materials too. You can find all kinds of useful resources across the region just by breaking rocks, picking up plants growing in the wild grass, defeating or catching Pokemon, or knocking items out of trees. Here we see the trainer using some of the materials they have collected to craft items in preparation for their next mission. All kinds of Pokemon will appear depending on the time of the day and the weather condition. Different species of Pokemon also have different temperaments. Some may ignore you as you approach, like this Bidoof. Some species, like Starly, are skittish and will run away if they see you approaching. There are even aggressive Pokemon that will attack you should they spot you in the wild. If an aggressive Pokemon spots you, or if you fail to catch it on your first sneak attempt, the Pokemon will enter an alert state. In this state, all Pokeballs you throw will simply be deflected by the Pokemon. In order to catch a Pokemon in this state, you must battle it.
That's
you
cool.
can initiate a battle by throwing a Pokeball containing one of your own partner Pokemon or a wild Pokemon.
Nice introduction to the fight mechanic.
You can use items to your advantage when catching wild Pokemon. For example, throwing a berry near a Pokemon will distract it. The Pokemon will then start eating. While eating, the Pokemon is much less aware of your presence, allowing you to go in for a backstroke. When encountering aggressive wild Pokemon, you have to be careful. These Pokemon will not think twice about attacking you. If you take too much damage, you will black out and lose some of the items you are carrying when you fainted. As part of the Survey Corps, you are on a mission to catalog and research all the different Pokemon that live in the harsh environments of Hisui. Not only will you need to catch many types of Pokemon on your mission, but you will also need to observe them using certain moves or displaying certain behaviors. When you are finished in the field, you can visit Professor Laventon to hand in your survey report. This will update your Pokedex, as well as increase your rank in the Survey Corps. You will also receive funds from the professor, which you can use to buy items and materials to help you with your research. The vastness of the Hisui region is daunting to explore on foot.
Looks fun going
throughout
around
your
like
adventure,
this.
you will encounter a number of special Pokemon that will help you get to where you need to go with grace and speed. Weirdier helps you navigate on land faster. Hisuian Braviary, on the other hand, allows you to soar through the skies.
Cool transition. That was clean. That was fast.
Bascu Legion allows you to traverse the rivers and seas throughout the Hisui region. With these Pokemon by your side, you will be able to explore the Hisui region to your heart's content. Jubilife Village is the center of operations for the Galaxy Expedition Team, a group made up of people who have come from different regions to study and live in the harsh region of Hisui. The Galaxy Team includes various corps, such as the Medical Corps and the Security Corps, as well as the Survey Corps, which carries out research on how Pokemon live. Jubilife Village will serve
This is
as
the
the
second
base for your
time
survey missions.
game footage is not
After receiving a
final
mission or a
as popping
request
up
and preparing for your next
in
excursion,
this
you'll
presentation.
set out from the village to study one of the various areas of the Hisui region. After you finish your survey work, you'll return once more to prepare for your next task. Along with the headquarters of the Galaxy Team and your own lodgings, Jubilife Village is also home to a variety of different services, such as the Clothier, the Craftworks, and the Trading Post, where you can trade Pokemon with other players.
This is probably from a build
You can receive a
around
variety
September
of different
or
missions and
October.
requests from the inhabitants of Hisui. Requests are small tasks that you do to help the residents of Hisui, while missions will advance the main story. Once you receive a mission or request, it will be added to your ARC phone.
but the game has been
The ARC
looking
phone is a
better and
mysterious
better
device that
each
allows
time
you
we've
to
seen
track
it.
your movements,
Almost
mark
every time we've
locations
seen
on the
it,
map, and track
there
your
have been
current
a
missions and
significant
requests.
improvement to the visuals.
Missions and requests vary in their objectives. Some examples of these objectives
So
include
if it ends up
discovering
looking a
specific
little better
Pokemon,
than this,
finding a
the
variety of
final
different
product,
items,
January 28th,
defeating powerful Pokemon
I think that's
in
going to
battle,
suffice.
or catching a number of one specific Pokemon for research. Please enjoy this clip of a trainer completing a request.
You know, graphics aren't everything, but you do want to have nice visuals, especially if it's a big world that you're going to be spending a lot of time in. Art style is important. Pop-in versus no pop-in. Does the gameplay jitter or not? Are there hiccups in the frame rate? So far, things look pretty smooth on the walking around standpoint. Good amount of animations in characters as they turn. Pretty expansive. Good draw distance. You know, it's not a graphical horsepower pushing title, but like I said, it doesn't need to. It needs to look good, be well animated, have nice vibrant colors, a good variety of Pokemon and people with different facial shapes, different clothing.
You can initiate a Pokemon battle by throwing one of your partner's Pokeballs at or near a wild Pokemon.
Show me a
If a
solid
wild Pokemon
difference
does not see you
between
approaching
day,
and you
night,
strike them with one
middle
of
of
your
the
partner's
afternoon.
Pokeballs, this will catch them unaware and may grant you an extra chance to attack.
Give
the
me
battle.
some footprints when I walk in the snow or go from walking on wet sand to dry sand. You know, I didn't notice footprints earlier
Battles are turn-based,
when
and you can get
the
your
trainer
Pokemon
was
to
walking in the
attack with
snow,
two
but
unique styles.
that's something that could change. Not every one of these components is
Strong
necessary,
style,
but the more of them they have, the more you feel immersed into the product.
or agile style. Using a move in
Well, I like the
agile
different
style
environments.
raises
We're
the
seeing
user's
some
action speed,
dark greens,
which may
some
make the user's next turn come
beiges,
sooner at the expense of reducing
places
the
by
move's
water,
power.
mountainous
Strong style
ranges,
moves can allow you to attack with more power, but using them may delay your
Snowy
Pokemon's
fields.
next turn. If an enemy can withstand one of your strong style moves, prepare to be attacked multiple times.
It's an
by the
RPG
Using agile style moves
that
and
has
strong
its
style moves in battle
comparative
causes
traits
your
to
Pokemon's attacks to use
typical
more
Pokemon
PP.
games.
So be careful when planning your battles. A good strategy is the key to victory.
But it's also got
While
some
surveying the
Monster
wild,
Hunter
you may come
typical
across a Pokemon that appears
gameplay
different
elements.
to the others of the same species. These are known as alpha Pokemon, and are much larger and have glowing red eyes. Be careful when approaching
When it comes to
them.
going
Not
back to
prepared.
camp and
They
stuff
are
like that,
very aggressive
I feel some
and take a
Monster Hunter
powerful team
vibes.
and strategy to take down.
The battle system I like. I like how
Here,
it's
the player uses
taking
agile
place-
style Thunder Wave to paralyze their opponent, delaying their turns and making them easier to catch. While also
combination
changing
of
move
real
priority
time
in
and
an advantageous way for
you
the
know,
player.
I hit
Strategies
you,
like
you
this
hit
are
me,
key to defeating alpha Pokemon.
turn-based.
Catching an alpha Pokemon is a challenge, but if you manage it, they will be a very powerful ally in your adventure.
Nice visuals. I mean, the special effects are probably the best part of the visuals so far. They're full of flash
By
and
visiting the
pizzazz.
clothier,
The
you
overall
can customize
environment,
your
though,
character with a variety
you
of
know,
different clothing items.
from a pure polygon
As you progress through
standpoint,
the game,
I think they
you will
look
unlock
nice
more outfits
too.
to purchase. Make sure to pick a style that speaks to you. Here is a quick look at some of the early customization options that trainers can wear.
Probably had they not gone for
You can also
as
customize
big of
your
a
trainer's
world
hairstyle, hair color,
in terms
and
of
eyebrow
it feeling
color
like
at the
an
hairdresser.
open world game, they could have bumped up the graphics more.
The Hisui
But
region
whenever
can be
there's more
dangerous.
going on
That
in
doesn't
an
mean
environment,
you can't look your best.
you could probably expect the graphic quality to overall go down because they have to render more things at more times. Like if Nintendo wanted to, not Pokemon Company in this case, but if Nintendo wanted to
During
make
your
as
adventure,
beautiful
you will
of a
have to
Zelda
face
game
off against
as they
special
could,
Pokemon called
they would make it a little
noble
bit
Pokemon.
smaller in scope, not be Breath of the
Strange
Wild like,
phenomenon is causing the nobles to become
and
frenzied,
with
making them rampage.
tighter, smaller areas, you wouldn't have to build
As
as
part of
much.
the
You
survey
could make it
corps,
look like a
you will
better
be
game.
recruited to calm these
But you want to
frenzied
have big and
nobles.
expansive like Breath of the Wild or the sequel. The bigger, the more
Simply
expensive,
defeating them in
the more
battle
data
will not calm them. You will
is
have
out
to
there
quell
for
their frenzy by
the
throwing
environments to be
bombs
running at the
with
same
using
time.
these noble Pokemon's favorite
Graphical
moves.
quality is going to
It
be a
can
little bit lower.
difficult to hit a rampaging noble with these bombs, as they will relentlessly attack you.
But gameplay is
The
important.
moment you see an opportunity,
And
hit
this
them with
game,
as many bombs as you can.
without
Just
having a
like throwing
giant
Pokeball, you need to aim
online
carefully. Noble Pokemon will attack the player
component
directly, and
where
if you
you're
take too much damage,
battling
you
with
will black
friends,
out and begin to
collecting,
attempt the battle
trading,
again.
getting
Balance
better,
throwing your bombs
trying to be the
with
best.
dodging attacks, and
This
calling the
single
noble
player
Pokemon.
campaign, this gameplay loop, how fun
At
is
some
it,
point during
is
the
going to be
fight,
really
the
important.
noble Pokemon may let down its guard.
Any
This is the
story
time to
that we
throw your
get,
Pokeball and
any
start a
cinematic
Pokemon
scenes,
battle.
any voice acting,
These battles are tough.
they kind of have to
Planning
be
ahead
held
is
to a
essential if you
higher
wish
level.
to calm the noble Pokemon down.
But it's looking like a good RPG, like a good action RPG. You know, the combat is mostly turn-based, but the fact that you could run around, capture Pokemon,
Countless adventures
sneak up
await
on
you in
them,
the series.
not necessarily battle all of them,
Wait for you to get your hands on
it's
the
pretty
game
cool to see.
after it releases on January 28th, exclusively on Nintendo Switch. We will see you very soon, Hisui. Bye!
I wonder if the game will have a lot of this or not. That would be promising. I mean, that would be cool, you know? January 28th. I think that's it.
Surrounded on
Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it more and more. I think the game looks solid. Got a little smirk there. Funny. Let's see. Can we end on the box art maybe? Yeah, okay, that's a good spot to end. You know, yeah, that was a pretty lengthy trailer. I know I talked over some of that footage there, but overall, I think we got a good glimpse at what the game's going to offer. Go out there, bring some equipment with you, try to capture Pokemon, survey the environment. If you can't capture one right away, and if you enter a battle, and if your Pokemon wins, awesome to you. That Pokemon joins your party. If you faint, if you get attacked by a Pokemon that, you know, wants to fight you. You wake up back at camp, lose a couple of your items, go out there again, survey the environment. We've got travel on land, in the air, and on water. 3 different Pokemon at least can help you traverse those types of areas. I didn't see too much in terms of pop-in, not too much in terms of uh, jitteriness along the way, or frame rate dips. Overall, as I mentioned previously, the visuals do look better now than they did 11 months ago when the game was first shown off. It would be interesting to literally look at a side-by-side comparison of then and now. Like I said, if I had to estimate, this footage was probably taken from a build around September or October. It takes a lot to create a demo or to create a gameplay segment. The developers are working nonstop on these titles, so any energy you take away from development time to make something like this is precious, especially in the last few months. So I don't think that this represents what the game looked like as of, yesterday, January 12th, or anything like that. It's probably a couple of months old. How much more can it improve in these last couple of months between, when this build was taken and January 28th? Probably not a whole lot more, but if you could be happy with what you saw, visually speaking, and say, yeah, if it's a little bit better, sweet. If it's at least that good, which it won't get worse, then cool, I'm okay. Then don't worry about the graphics. Uh, the gameplay is the most important with this game, as it should be for most titles, gameplay being most important, but obviously for some it's not. Although, with this game, you don't know what you're getting necessarily walking into it, right? It's not quite a Breath of the Wild open world giant exploration game. It's not a recreation of the Pokemon anime and you're walking around heavy story, meeting villains and stuff like that. It's not your typical Pokemon RPG that we've been playing for the last 25 years, nor is it a Let's Go game, which is a little bit simplified, yet the aesthetic looks like the classic titles. It's this combination of a lot of things and taking new elements that are new to Pokemon that have been tried and true from stuff like Monster Hunter into a package. And some of that gives people fear and some of that gives people excitement. To me personally, I'm pretty excited, I think that this game dropping in January is going to be really nice, along with Kirby coming out in March, and of course, just plenty of other titles dropping this year. In the first half, we're already looking at some pretty heavy hitters. We've got Advance Wars coming out, Triangle Strategy coming out, Splatoon 3 at some point, Rune Factory 5, and then of course later on we've got Bayonetta 3. I imagine that's second half, maybe late summer, early fall. Breath of the Wild's sequel, also probably a November title. And yeah, Nintendo Switch has got a solid year up ahead. I'm really looking forward to the sales of this one. I just love sales in general, so I want to see, how many millions did it drop first weekend worldwide? How many more Nintendo Switch owners are there going to be that were kind of sitting on the fence in the last almost 5 years to buy the console that are now going to say, okay, this is something that I want. If this game reviews well across a multitude of websites and magazines, and it's kind of averaged out score, which a lot of people do take into consideration, like it or not, if it's sitting around those low 80s or something, that's going to bode well, and people are going to say, hey, this is something that is for me. It's a quality product, It won't be for everyone, but if it's high enough in quality, gets a good amount of positive review scores, and that's the overwhelming portion, you add that plus the name of Pokemon and the intrigue factor, and it's a 16 to 21 million selling game. 16 on the low end, because I don't think the game's going to be trash or poor performance. Only if it was bad, I think. And they pulled one over on us, and we're seeing a very nice look, but behind the scenes it's a broken mess. then it's like a 7 million seller, because Pokemon is powerful enough that even if it was bad, it'd probably sell 7 million, and that would probably be considered a failure by the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. If it's a roaring success, brilliant game, and it's got twists and turns and an awesome story and this art style is cinematic that carries through with it the whole time, and this real nice evolution and this power leveling, uh, maybe even having a couple of different difficulty modes, or maybe not, but just a nice difficulty mode that kind of ramps up, easy to begin, not too difficult to enjoy, but maybe a little bit challenging to master, then it's close to that 21 million selling, I think. But if it's solid, I think 16 is fair. So that's sort of my base and my logic behind why I think it'll do 16 and 21. Cool. Well, let me know what you thought. Thanks for watching with me. This is Paul Gale from PaulGaleNetwork.com signing out. Hope you all have a good one. Take it easy. Bye.